So, after that big Disney Investors Day event on Thursday, and so many new project announcements, I felt the need to do my ranking of all 27 upcoming Marvel Studios projects, whether that be movie or TV show or special. So here I'll only be ranking stuff that's directly related to Marvel Studios, not Marvel in general, so things like Into the Spider-Verse 2, Venom 2, Morbius, any Sony projects that are completely unrelated, I will not be talking about in this ranking here. But I'm excited for all of these. Like, it's generally a range of kind of excited to extreme levels of hype. So I am excited for everything here. There's nothing here where I'm not looking forward to it. But, yeah, it's just definitely a variation of how excited I am. And let's jump right into it with number 27, a TV show announced the other day, Ironheart. It is one of the examples where I have absolutely no prior connection to the character. I don't know anything about them. I just know it's a Disney Plus show about a girl who makes an Iron Man suit, and I guess that's kind of cool. It's just, not a prospect that I'm too entirely hyped for. We had our Iron Man, and there's also another show coming up related to Iron Man suits. So this isn't something I'm super excited for, but this is probably a character that'll show up in future movies and stuff, and I'll definitely watch it. It's just not something, that interests me too much. At number 26 is a movie, Captain Marvel 2, which not that I'm not excited for this, it's just that Captain Marvel 1 was, it was fine, nothing too special, but nothing that I loved. But Brie Larson's pretty good in the role. I'm excited to see her in the sequel. It's a new director that'll hopefully kind of make this movie different from the original, make it more interesting. And also the prospects of having Miss Marvel be in this movie makes me pretty excited for it. So I'm definitely looking forward to this, even if it's my least anticipated of the upcoming movies. Number 25 is ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, this definitely sounds fun with, it's kind of a martial arts movie, and it's going to be related to the Ten Rings and the Mandarin that were set up in the first Iron Man and played off again in Iron Man 3, and we're finally going to see the real Mandarin. So that makes me pretty excited. It's just, I've never been too much one for, kung fu action movies. I mean, I like The Karate Kid, but that's really the extent of it. But I'm definitely excited for this. I'm going to check it out, opening weekend, hopefully. It's just, not something I'm too insanely hyped for. Number 24, Armor Wars. I'm extremely excited to see Rhodey, War Machine, back on another adventure. I'm excited to see, I think it's going to be cool processing, like, Iron Man suits in enemy hands, and it's, like, him battling Iron Man suits, I don't know. Whatever that'll be, I'm sure it'll be really fun. It doesn't sound something, like, too super interesting or intriguing. It just sounds like a good time, and that's why, it's definitely low on this list, but it sounds like something I'm going to be excited to watch, even if it's not something that's probably going to be too groundbreaking or anything. At number 23 is the little short special, I Am Groot, because I love Groot and a little short series of him going around the galaxy and meeting aliens. I don't know, even if it's animated or live action, I think it's animated, but no matter what, it sounds fun, sounds cute, charming. I'm definitely excited to check this one out every Friday whenever it does come out. At number 22 is The Eternals. Now, once again, don't know anything about these characters, and it sounds nuts about, like, time travels and, like, these eternal beings, and they're against, like, this other race of the, Celestials, and this movie just sounds weird as heck, and it has this huge stacked cast, and this across-time adventure over thousands of years, and it just sounds weird, and I'm definitely excited for it, but, I don't really have any prior connection to it, which is why it's pretty low on this list, but it definitely really intrigues me. At number 21 is Marvel's What If, the upcoming animated show. It sounds like a lot of fun with a lot of concepts. Concepts like, what if Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum? Or what if T'Challa was abducted by Yondu instead of Peter Quill? And, like, just 10 episodes of that. I think there's going to have multiple seasons, so that'll be fun. It just sounds something fun, charming, and the animation style from the trailer looks really cool. And I also like how they got a lot of the voice cast from the movies. I think they got basically everyone except for Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Tom Holland. And some movies have even suggested that Robert Downey Jr. was doing voices with Jeff Goldblum. So this could be a lot of fun. And it'll also be Chadwick Boseman's kind of last MCU performance. So definitely excited for this, and I'm really happy I'm going to be able to check it out this summer. And then at number 20 is SheHulk. Before Thursday, this wasn't something I'm super excited for. We all know who SheHulk is. I know that she was, kind of a lawyer. She's a cousin of Bruce Banner, and she had to get a blood transplant from him, but then it made her into She-Hulk, and now she's also a lawyer and a superhero. And, that wasn't something super exciting, but I'm excited that they said it's going to be more of a fun show. And I'm super excited that they're going to be bringing back Mark Ruffalo as Hulk, Tim Roth as Abomination, which is basically them, bringing the Incredible Hulk more into Marvel, making it seem more important, which I'm excited about, even if I didn't like that movie too much. And overall, they made a tease about possibly, they said it was a lawyer show, and he said, then who knows who could show up, so that's definitely a Daredevil tease, which would be fun. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited for this, if not super hype. At number 19 is Black Panther 2. I am pretty excited for this. I really enjoyed the last Black Panther. And the thing with this is, I'm really sad to see that, of course, Chadwick Boseman passed away, which is really tragic. And he won't be in this movie. He was a big reason the part I liked the first Black Panther, and this movie's definitely going to be different without him. But I think they made a good choice not recasting him, and they're going to kind of explore the other characters in the franchise. So this movie's definitely going to be really interesting. I'm excited to see where they go with it. It's just, it's going to be different without Chadwick Boseman. And that's not a hit on the movie's fault in any way. No one could have seen this happening. But yeah, we'll see how the movie goes. I'm excited to see how it looks. At number 18, Miss Marvel. I don't really have much prior connection to Miss Marvel, aside from knowing that I think she's an Inhuman, and she's really stretchy, and she's a big fan of Captain Marvel. But honestly, I loved her in the new Avengers game. She was a great protagonist. It really kind of introduced me to the character, and I'm super excited to see her get her own TV show. And the prospect is also setting up her appearing in Captain Marvel 2 is a lot of fun. And the little sizzle reel they did from the investor panel that kind of showed little clips on the show. It has me really excited to see what they're doing with this character. She seems like a lot of fun, and she's going to be a nice new young energy to have in the movies and TV shows, and I'm really excited for this. I'm more excited than I ever thought I'd be. Number 17 is Black Widow. Now, I'm super excited for this, but I definitely feel like my hype has been dampened for the fact that this movie was supposed to come out 7 months ago. And it's not the fault of Marvel that they had delayed a whole year. It's the whole COVID thing, but that's definitely hurt my excitement. It's just going to be fun to see a movie with Black Widow, her finally get her own film. I'm excited to see Taskmaster. And Black Widow, it doesn't seem like it's going to be anything special. Just a fun spy movie, finally giving Natasha Romanoff her time in the spotlight. So I'm really excited to check it out, even if it doesn't sound like something too insanely special. At number 16, Loki. I really love Loki in the movies. My main issue with the show is the version of Loki they're doing is right after the Avengers, and I feel like he's most interesting in Thor Ragnarok and Infinity War with his dynamic with Thor. And I'm excited to see a more villainous side of Loki, and I'm excited to see him traveling across time, and I think they might be exploring the multiverse in this one a bit. And Owen Wilson, it just seems like fun to have him in the show, so this show seems wacky and weird. It's just, it's not super high up because, this isn't my favorite interpretation of Loki, but who knows? This show could definitely be fantastic, and I'm certainly excited. At number 15 is Moon Knight. Now, I don't know much about this character either, but I know he's kind of like Marvel's Batman, maybe, sort of, but he's like a vigilante, but I think he has dissociative identity disorder, and that has me all excited, and kind of Egyptian roots, which also sounds fun and interesting. But I'm really excited for this because a lot of rumors and casting reports have been saying Oscar Isaac is going to star. And that has me extremely excited because I loved him in the Star Wars movies. He was pretty good in X-Men Apocalypse, even if his character wasn't great. But I'm super excited to see him in this. Him joining the MCU will be a lot of fun. And I just think this sounds like a fun, intriguing show. Number 14, Deadpool 3. Now, this is the first thing on this list that might not be part of the MCU, but they've confirmed Ryan Reynolds is attached, they've got writers, and Marvel Studios will be at least producing it and making it. So even if it's not part of the MCU, I'm really excited for this. The first two Deadpools were a lot of fun. Ryan Reynolds is absolutely perfect in the role. He brings a lot of charm and energy and charisma to it, and you just couldn't imagine anyone else in the role. And I'm really excited to see what they do with it, considering it's not a Disney Fox movie. I think they're going to be making it R-rated. I really hope they tie into the MCU. But this movie, no matter whether or not it's connected to the MCU, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm super excited for it. At number 13 is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I am hyped for this because I like them both in the movie, and I'm really excited for them to get their bit of the time in the spotlight. Seeing Sam, the Falcon, kind of come along to accept his role as possibly the new Captain America will be great. This just kind of seems like a fun spy thriller TV show. I'm excited to see them bringing other characters from Captain America into it, like Baron Zemo and Sharon Carter. And whatever they're doing with U.S. Agent definitely seems like it's going to be interesting. But this seems like a fun TV show exploring some characters who need more time in the spotlight and also exploring the legacy of Captain America. And I'm really excited to see it this March. At number 12, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Now, first off, I'm really excited to see that means we're going to be seeing the Guardians in live action again before their movie comes out. And it's only 2 years away, which has me excited, even though it is a bit of far off. But, you know, this just sounds like a lot of fun. I absolutely love the Guardians of the Galaxy. And them in maybe a 40-45 minute holiday special just sounds like an absolute blast to watch. And I don't feel like I need more explanation other than that. If it's anything like the Lego Star Wars holiday special, just, live action and got a little more of that James Gunn kind of humor, I'm sure I'm going to love it, and I'm really excited for it. At number 11 is the untitled upcoming Mutants movie. Now, this is definitely the most vague movie on this list, as all we've heard about it is, last summer, 2019, Kevin Feige said, oh yeah, we're making a movie based around mutants. So, we don't know much about it, but it's essentially just the X-Men reboot that's coming into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that has me absolutely extremely excited, because I've seen a few of the X-Men movies. I plan to watch the rest of them, but they're a lot of fun, and I love a lot of the characters. And I'm really excited to see them come into the MCU with new faces and just a new tone to them. Because I heard the last movie wasn't very good. Apocalypse had its moments, but it wasn't great. And I'm just excited to see a new, fresh era for the X-Men. On to the top 10. At number 10 is Blade. Now, this is a character I don't have any prior association with, but this movie just sounds fantastic. I mean, a movie about Mahershala Ali starring as Blade, and he's a vampire hunter, and this just sounds so different from the rest of the tone of the MCU, but that just has me so absolutely excited for it. I mean, a vampire hunter movie with Mahershala Ali in general sounds a lot of fun, but it being connected to Marvel, him possibly appearing in future crossover movies, I don't know, that just sounds like loads of fun, even if I don't know much about the character or haven't seen the other movies. But I'm very excited for this one. At number 9, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Now, I know the Ant-Man movies aren't insanely popular, but I love them both. They're so much fun to watch. I loved Scott Lang in Avengers Endgame. He had one of my favorite scenes in the movie where he reunites with his adult daughter. I'm sad to see they recast her for this movie, but honestly, just a fun Ant-Man and the Wasp movie is already enough to get me excited. But with the prospects of Kang the Conqueror is showing up in this movie, and him and all his time travel stuff, he could possibly be a big future MCU villain. That has me super excited, and I'm really happy that this movie is coming out. Because Ant-Man, that doesn't seem like a movie that Marvel might make a trilogy out of it, but I'm so happy they are, and I'm really excited to watch this. At number 8 is Secret Invasion. Marvel adapting the whole thing about Skrulls coming over, taking over the Earth, and disguising themselves as huge heroes in this big crossover event. I'm so excited for this. I loved it in the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon. And while it's a little weird that's going to be a show and not a movie, as long as they have, some of the big Marvel heroes kind of showing some of them be replaced by Skrulls. And I'm super excited to have Nick Fury in it and Talos coming back with Ben Mendelsohn. This TV show sounds really intriguing. Super excited to check it out because I loved it in that show, and I'm just really excited for this. About the prospects of, who's a Skrull, who's not a Skrull. It just sounds like a lot of fun. Number 7 is Hawkeye. Hawkeye, I really like him in the movie. Jeremy Renner does a great job as him. I love his whole dynamic with his family. And I'm so happy that he's finally getting his own TV show. His own time in the spotlight to shine, where it's just him. And with Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, and kind of about Hawkeye training a protege. That sounds like a lot of fun. And also there's a character in the show called Lucky the Pizza Dog. It's a golden retriever that goes around with Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. And that's enough to get this into my top 10. Not really, but this sounds like a lot of fun. I'm happy to see Hawkeye finally getting his time to shine. And him training a protege and Kate Bishop sounds a lot of fun, very interesting. and I'm hyped for this. At number 6, WandaVision. This is my number 1 most anticipated show, probably just because it's so close on the horizon. It's only a month out. It just sounds so weird and wacky and intriguing, with them kind of going across different decades of sitcoms and TV. It seems like it might be exploring kind of Wanda dealing with the grief of Vision's death and kind of using her powers to create her own kind of fantasy universe in her mind. And then it also apparently tying in heavily to her appearance in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This show sounds so weird and interesting, and the fact that it's only a month out has me so excited. It's going to be the first Marvel thing we've gotten since Spider-Man Far From Home, which feels like forever ago now. And I'm so excited to finally be getting Marvel back with this thing that looks so intriguing and fun. But on to the top 5, which is all movies. Number 5, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the first Doctor Strange movie. I thought it was good, but not great. But then, I love Benedict Cumberbatch in the role. He's fantastic, especially in Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Endgame. I love the character, even if I didn't love the movie. But him exploring the multiverse with Scarlet Witch, the introduction of, the multiverse properly, sounds like a lot of fun. It's going to be tying into Spider-Man and Loki and WandaVision. And the big cherry on top of that's being directed by Sam Raimi. And this movie just sounds like it's going to be nuts. And I am extremely excited for it, no matter what happens. Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch exploring the multiverse, directed by Sam Raimi, just sounds like a blast. And I am so excited for this one. At number 4, fittingly, Fantastic Four. Now, I haven't watched any of the previous Fantastic Four movies, except for the 2005 one years ago. But I like them in the comics. I like them in some old animated shows. And I'm so excited to see that they can hopefully be getting a movie that might actually be good. I know a lot of people are upset about some people are upset about John Watts directing this, but I love his interpretation of Spider-Man. Homecoming and Far From Home are some of my favorite Marvel and superhero movies ever. And I'm happy that he might be bringing his, light-hearted superhero fun that he has from Spider-Man, bringing it over to the Fantastic Four, just to make a solidly entertaining movie. They better cast John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, though. They have to. I don't see why they wouldn't. They better. But excited for that. At number 3, Thor, Love and Thunder. I absolutely loved Ragnarok. It's hilarious. Taika Waititi brings so much charm to the movie. And I was so excited to see that he was doing a sequel with Thor 4, with Chris Hemsworth returning, taking a starring role. And we got the rest of the Ragnarok crew with Valkyrie. The return of Jane Foster also has me way more excited than I thought I'd be, with her taking her role as the Mighty Thor, Lady Thor, whatever she's going to be called. And then the final cherry on top is that it's apparently going to have the Guardians of the Galaxy, at least Star-Lord. And that just has me super excited. And this sounds like it's going to be loads of fun, really entertaining to watch. At number 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I am so excited for this one. I love the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy films. I love all the characters. And how it takes these kind of unknown characters and made them, like, iconic. Everybody knows about the Guardians of the Galaxy now. The 2 movies were huge successes. And I'm so excited for the 3rd one. I'm happy they brought back James Gunn. Well, the 3-year wait from now is going to be long. I'm sure it's going to be a fun, intergalactic blast with great music, great characters, and it's just going to be a whole lot of fun, which is why I'm so excited for it. And, of course, at number 1 is the untitled Spider-Man 3. I mean, even without all the casting announcements the past few months, I loved Homecoming and Far From Home, as I already mentioned. Tom Holland's my favorite live-action Spider-Man. He brings a lot of energy to the role. And I would have been excited for this movie no matter what, especially considering the cliffhanger of Far From Home and the fact that it was in limbo for a while during August, September of last year, where we didn't know if Spider-Man was going to be in the MCU anymore. That already has me so excited. But then with the recent casting announcements, with Alfred Molina returning as Doc Ock, Jamie Foxx as Electro, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange is coming back, it feels like they're setting up a multiverse movie where they're exploring all aspects of the Spider-Man multiverse. With just the confirmed castings, I'm already hyped for this movie, because with Doc Ock and Electro confirmed, the possibilities that the Vulture and Mysterio could easily return. Mysterio could have easily faked his own death. Vulture could easily break out of prison. It really seems like they're setting up a Sinister Six movie, and I'm all for that. Really excited for that. And even what they do have their story in the multiverse, it's great. But with all the rumored casting, whether it's Charlie Cox coming back as Daredevil, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire returning as their Spider-Mans, Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane, Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy, all the rumored castings and all the confirmed castings, just sound like this is going to be a blast of a Spider-Man movie, honoring the past and pushing maybe Tom Holland's Spider-Man forward into the future. I could not be more excited for this movie. Hope there's a new trailer coming this month. Super excited for that. But yeah, that's why it's number one on this list. Hope you liked the video. My next one will be a ranking of the Mandalorian Season 2 episodes, or just an overall review of the season, coming probably Christmas Eve. But really hope you're excited for that. I will see you then. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.